I've watched your video where you're talking about your dyslexia and how it impacted your self-worth when you're at school. I can relate to this so much. I do not have dyslexia, but I do have ADD, and I have big trouble with verbal communication. Although I am a smart person, people think I'm stupid as I can't put my point across. I am in the phase of cleaning up my basement and working on my psychology. I try to be more accepting of myself. However, somehow I cannot accept this part of me that struggles with communication. Could you please give me some advice on how to be more loving and accepting towards yourself? What has helped you to be more in peace with this part of yourself? Thank you so much for your question. I'm sorry to hear about your struggles with the ADD. There is a book actually that somebody sent me recently about ADD. I can't remember what it's called. But I heard great reviews about it. But my advice to you would be to work with somebody that specializes in ADD, to work with a psychologist that specializes in it, even if it's for a short time, because so if you go to a psychologist or you work with people that aren't conscious of that, then they might give you some wrong advice. So that would be my first of all advice for that. And you don't need to bring up non-duality with them. You just very much try to suck out the information about that and try to heal that and the difficulties it's got. On my website, under the reference page, I have lots of references. I realized that some people put comments and they really want me to put psychologists, like non-dual psychologists on there and like list out. It's just difficult for me to do that because I haven't been to them, so they want me to say like a good psychologist for people to work with, but how do you really know that until you've worked with someone? So I always feel a little bit reluctant. But what I do is I put links to lots of people on my website so that you can try and decipher and find out things about behavioral therapy and who does that. And when you're looking for a psychologist, or it doesn't need to be a psychologist, like it could also be a non-dual teacher. Like a lot of non-dual teachers, even though they're not trained in psychology, they do work really well one-on-one, and some of them have ADD. But when you're looking for someone, it can take time to find the right person to work with. So it's not like one shoe fits all. That's why we have like multiple different therapies and different things to work on. So that would be my first advice. What helped me with my dyslexia is really understanding it, which took a lot of research and is still an ever-going process. And really understanding what belongs to other people and what doesn't. Like with people's projection onto you is stupid. I get this a lot. So there is that, all those types of things. So just really learning about it, reading lots of books. And sometimes these psychology books can be really dull because they're so basic, and when you're into this subject you've gone so much further, but you just listen to it and you just suck out a few gems from it, like there's loads of videos on YouTube. And if you write to me at a later date, I'll try and find out that ADD book. I do actually have it in my audio about Bull account. So there's that. And then the ultimate healing thing, which beats all these other things that I've been speaking about, is non-duality. Like non-duality is freedom. So yes, it's fantastic to work on these things. But to me, I feel like they'll endlessly go in circles unless you realize who you are, like really see who you are, because it'll just endlessly be about you fixing yourself. Like really knowing that who you are isn't that person. You are not somebody with ADD. You are not a stupid person. You are not incapable. You are not whatever the stories are that have been told to you. You are not somebody in time. Who you are is the timeless, is this immense freedom. And what's listening to these words now, the mind is processing it, but that's not what's actually listening. What's listening is this consciousness, which is empty. It's vast, it's beyond everything you've ever known in this lifetime. It's beyond thinking, it's beyond dualism. And that's the ultimate freedom. Yeah, danke. Thank you.